editorial board. Good morning, Deb Peterson.
Good morning, McGraw, Milhaven.
You want to talk a little guns?
I'm happy to talk some guns with you. Want to talk the gun docket or the proposed gun docket for the city of St. Louis? Or do you want to talk about the bad gun bill that the governor had the good sense to veto, but which others can't seem to put to rest? Any of those topics.
I love how the party of law and order and the party of the party of laws, basically wants you to avoid the federal laws. They want to pick and choose which laws should and should not be followed.
Yes, it is just you can't. The hypocrisy, pardon me, is so. It's like people holler from the mountaintops. It's like, I'm a hypocrite. I want to believe in this, but I want to reject that. These are the same people who certainly want federal help with roads so that they can get to their the job creators. It's such nonsense. So, yeah, the gun law is absolutely one of the most flawed bills. And if, Attorney General Koster this week didn't make everybody take a look at that thing and say, this is crazy. So, eliminating federal crimes means the state would basically not be able to do anything with guns. Crazy. And don't they say that this would certainly be an invitation for people to come here to commit gun crimes because they couldn't be convicted on some of them?
Well, we're all for standing up for the first responders and the police and the firefighters until they actually have to stand up and do their job. Then we don't want them to. Yeah.
And don't want to give them the tools necessary. Yeah. And, it's like, why don't we just, handcuff them? It's, yeah. And if they override that veto, if the legislature does, we need to people really need to start voting correctly in primaries so that the clowns.
People think they are voting correctly. I want to see that. I also want to see if they overturn the pedophile bill, the sexual list.
List bill?
Yeah, I want to see that one. But that's for next week. There's something I want to talk to you about this week.
Yes.
And I want to follow up on the Rick Perry stuff. Okay.
Yes.
Because Rick Perry, we know, ran that ad last week saying that $40 million in jobs every year is leaving from Missouri going to Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We know we had Rick Perry on the show last week, and I asked Rick Perry which companies are leaving Missouri to go to Texas.
And I heard his response.
And he said, I'll get you a list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have that list?
So I got the list.
Okay.
Okay. So as of now, I've checked in with, I believe, 5 companies on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You ready for the rundown?
Mm-hmm.
Centene Corporation didn't know they were on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Says they're not sending jobs to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
They said we might be on that list because we opened up. We got a new Texas contract, so we added a couple of new jobs in Texas to fulfill our Texas contract. Were those jobs in Missouri? No, they were never in Missouri. These are new jobs. Okay, thank you very much, Centene Corporation.
Okay, lie number one.
Okay.
Governor Perry.
I talked to another company called Proficient. Have you ever heard of them, Proficient?
I believe I have.
They're an IT.
What they do?
They're an IT services company.
Okay.
Proficient built offices were too small in Texas, so they built another. So they moved offices.
Wow.
They're on the list. They didn't know they were on the list, and if you do a little more research, you realize that Proficient is not only not sending jobs down to Texas, but actually moved their headquarters from Texas to St. Louis in 2010.
Oh my, good.
All right, now
thank you, Proficient.
Moving right along. On this list of jobs that are moving from Texas to Missouri, Bass Pro Shop opened up a retail outlet in Texas.
Totally not, yeah.
Right.
That's not moving jobs to Texas.
UMB Financial, right? Banking in Kansas City. They opened up a branch in Dallas.
The Kemper family.
That's right.
Moving to Texas.
So Perry, all of these things are on the list they gave me to prove that Missouri companies are moving to Texas.
Well, I'm glad to see you putting the lie to that stuff. Because
Bunge Corporation, another one. Yeah. Bunge was like, we didn't know we were on the list, and we just built a new building out there. We didn't know that. So again, Bunge North America claiming by Perry and Company that they're moving jobs there. Bunge says absolutely not happening.
So is this list, do you think they compiled a list of anybody who had some contact from Missouri with the Texas business community?
I have no idea. But I've yet to find one company move one job to Texas on the list they gave me.
At their own devised list.
The list I asked for and they gave me, yes.
As proof that there were jobs moving to Texas.
That is correct.
So we as a state need to stop being, so worried about this. We need to protect what we have. We need to stop allowing others to lie and make claims that are totally non-existent, which all goes to this whole issue of the tax. And I heard you the other day with David Stokes and somebody else about how really difficult it is.
Right. Aisha Sultan.
Okay. Yeah. Aisha and you talking about how difficult it is to actually determine what the tax log is on a business because there are so many various ways that it is assessed, described, whatever. So when businesses make their choices to locate, they are looking at the things that we all think are important. Educational attainment of the population to which they move. Can they find the people who they need to work in their companies? So that is why repeatedly we on the editorial page stress the value of education at all levels in our communities, because if you don't have an educated workforce, which is one of the biggest shortcomings that Texas has, an uneducated workforce, you don't get those kinds of workers. So when we had Jack Dorsey in town last week talking about, his invention, his co-invention, Square, but also the value of, the tech force here and how financially savvy this community is. We need this to translate into jobs so these people will stay here once they're trained.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Deb Peterson. She sits on the editorial board of their hometown newspaper, STLtoday.com. When can we read you? When can we see you?
I love the way you usher me off. You're very adept at this. You can read me all the time, STLtoday.com, and at some point I will be live on your television screen rather than just my cute little mug.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have become proficient in shuttling you off.
You are proficient.
Deb, have a good weekend.
You too.
All right, good.